Okay, so I'm going to go into Android Studio, start a new Android Studio project, and give it some kind of name. Doesn't matter what, we're just experimenting. And then click Next. Next, and then empty activity, and then just click Finish on that.
We never worked on the design piece of layer over. The Apple one. Oh yeah.
Zero's working okay?
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed this morning in my office I didn't have access to the wireless, and it wouldn't come up with a little design. So it looks like it had to have connection to the internet to complete. So, who was that was having that the other day where they wouldn't bring it up?
Oh, the Arcus online thing. Yeah.
Or no, I mean in Android Studio wasn't there somebody that tried to bring it up and it wouldn't build?
Like on the
screen where you
activity underscore main. Yeah, that was me. It wouldn't go over.
They wouldn't do that for me this morning. Wouldn't build this.
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't have access to the internet. And I thought that was interesting. I wasn't sure why I needed access to the internet, but as soon as I connected via the wireless, it worked fine. Okay, so I'm going to delete my hello world. Now we got some layouts here, and we're going to look at more of these as time goes on. You got your constraint layout, guideline, horizontal, guideline, vertical, linear layout, horizontal, linear layout, vertical, frame layout, table row, space. By default, this comes up as constraint layout. Layout is how you lay out everything. And I can right click on this, and I can choose convert view. And I could choose one of the other ones. I could choose linear layout. And then click apply. Now this by default comes up as horizontal, which isn't necessarily what you want. If you right click on it again, you can choose linear layout, and you can say convert orientation to vertical. Now we're going to see what that does. Doesn't feel like it's done anything. But if I drop a button on here, now if you drop it on the form, the what? Oh, going all the way across?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I drop another button on there, it arranges it in a linear pattern going down. You could drop a text on here. You see the text goes all the way across the screen.
That's weird.
So that's a design you can choose to use. Now there's more to it than just that. You can, with your linear layout here, you can choose different items. But that's just your default one. There's no need to set up your constraints because it's set up in this format. So it won't give you an error if you run it. It won't try to squash everything together or so forth.
You can add more layouts.
If I go here and I drop horizontal layout, if I put it down here, yeah, you can have different types of layouts, and we'll see more of that where we kind of merge them together. I'll go ahead and delete that. Okay, so I'm going to drop on some more buttons.
Just letting me put it side by side. Under the search button.
If you right click over here in the component tree, if you right click linear layout, then you can choose linear layout, and you should see a convert orientation to vertical.
Now it's on this button.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's not letting me copy buttons.
Vertical. Woo! And you're not smart. Yes, you are.
You really want to really see what you do. When does it come out for US release?
January 16th.
Yours isn't your birthday the 18th?
No.
Never mind. Thinking.
Why is it kind of so big weekend? That's weird.
It's just like February 18th or something. Who knows? Darius, when is your birthday? Like January 20 something?
23rd.
Yeah. See, I was close.
Still fail. Just take him with us. Just don't get no popcorn. Just a movie. Still watch it.
It will be in like
I
theaters.
honestly hope so. And they didn't give me information. Because it's such a wide experience.
So now we need to go watch Venom. We need to go watch. I'm excited for the road. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Who said that was
Parents.
yeah. Why is he in it?
I don't know. For sure. We'll have to watch the movie to find out.
You think Paradise is stronger than Broly?
No.
Not by far.
And you're further.
Isn't that Netflix protecting from
I don't remember. I've watched the first one.
I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Because Broly Netflix protects him.
I don't know.
Christian's working out. In the movie, first movie, he got his parents got the skate park. And
Okay, so we're going to keep on dropping buttons on. Now, at some point, you're going to reach the bottom here.
Oh, Broly's controlled by because of the Nimbus.
You can also drop your button down here.
wow, you have a lot of.
Yeah, so you can drop the button over here.
Are there any more transitions today?
Yes,
What kind of stupid?
because I think we need more practice on that.
How many buttons should we have?
I don't know, 20, 25, something like that.
Lord.
Keep going. Keep going till you get tired.
I'm already second.
Okay, that's probably enough.
How many do you have?
How many do I have? I don't know, 20, I guess?
Okay, I have 20.
Okay.
10. I'm not going that far. Stupid.
Just right click and then hit add to designs there to make it look faster.
There you go.
Yeah, look.
So if I run this,
Alright. I have more than 20 buttons.
that's good. Yeah, 10 wouldn't be enough. com.android.phone has stopped. Gradle build still running though. Okay, so you get this up here.
Okay, so you want us to run it and move it up there? Oh.
Now, you see, we've got a lot of buttons here, don't we? We cannot scroll down, though, can we?
Yes.
So let's go back here. There's a container that allows us to scroll.
I have to do a cold boot.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
You see here that says scroll view. There's a horizontal scroll view. There's a nested scroll view. That's probably about it, I guess. If I take that scroll view and drop it right here under the linear layout, then that's going to create a scroll view within that. If I drag these buttons over here, then you'll see them appear.
Can you highlight all of them at once?
You can. You can hold down click the first one, hold on your shift, and then you can move them quite rapidly.
Why can't I put them in?
See, I put them under this linear layout under the scroll view.
Oh, okay. Now it works.
Being able to use this componentry allows you, when you start using these different layouts, when you start using these different views, allows you to see where in the world your button at, where's the world your text at. You may not be able to tell that just by looking at the screen design.
Oh my lord.
So now I'm going to run it again.
You can infinitely scroll.
For some reason, my scroll is clicking.
It's probably not like you might think, since we're using a mouse to do what the finger does. But it should scroll.
Yeah, my finger's not working either, so.
I wish I had a touchscreen I could do it. I didn't opt for the touchscreen one, but it was about another $200.
Oh, it's chump change.
Something. Or I could offer another $500 and get the 4K 60 FPS with touchscreen. But there was a big old no. I'd rather have 1440.
Okay, so we just did scrolling. Where we're headed with this is, I'm not going to have you do 25 buttons, of course, but you could, and each button you could have take to a different screen. Your transition. That'd be a lot of work. So we're going to stick with 3 to go to other screens, but we're going to look at something additional too. Over here in the app folder, if I expand that, there's a res folder, resource. I can expand that.
Layout.
We'll see how this works on your computers.
What are you trying to say?
We'll go to Audacity.
I don't know Audacity, unfortunately.
Well, you'll see how to do it. You can download Audacity or download an MP3 file or something. And game over, man. Game over.
Game over, man. Wait.
So if you click the record here, that'll actually create a WAV file. Now you could do a file export as WAV. What I don't know if it'll work on yours is if you can export it as MP3.
I have MP3 that I can use.
Do you?
I'm very happy with it.
Now if you can't record one on yours, like it gives you an error because it can't find a certain file, there should be a button here that says locate it or download it from the internet. If you don't have that, then just go find an MP3 file on the internet somewhere.
I have
That's-
one that I recorded and it's really loud.
The three activities we're going to create, the 3 screens, each one's going to have one button on it to play as a different sound.
Sweet.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save this as gameover.mp3 and then click save and go ahead and click OK there and close that.
All these useless MP3s are gonna now
Be useful.
yes.
Okay, so now you're going to have a separate activity where you'll do this, but I just want to show you how to do the play a sound. Over here in the resource folder, the RES,
Yep.
res, you right click on it. You can choose new Android resource directory.
Name it sounds.
You could. I'll just call it raw.
Raw sounds.
So I'm just click OK. Sometimes it will not appear over here. This morning when I was refreshing my memory on this, I created it and it didn't appear over here. If it doesn't appear over here, you have to go up and kind of browse through these breadcrumb trail and to see it. But if you have the raw there, you can bring up File Explorer, go to where you saved your MP3 file at. So I got game over. I'll right click on that, choose copy. I come over to here, I right click and I choose paste. And then click OK. Now if you expand the raw, you'll see your file there.
Yeah. Mine shows up as an M4A than an MP3.
As long as it recognizes the format, then you're fine. I hope it recognizes this. Looks like it's got a question mark there, like it doesn't know.
Yeah, that's a Zoom thing.
If that doesn't work, I'll have to download a different file, but we'll see. Okay, now I want to go over to my main activity and type my public void play music view v, alt enter, import that, beginning curly brace, closing curly brace, then I'll type media player mp equals media player dot create, and then I'll do r dot raw dot game over. That resource directory we created, you now when you do the r dot, you can see that directory. That's a connection between the two. And then game over.
Mine's named Raw Sounds, like raw space sounds.
You should be able to see it there. Maybe.
Doing a lot of spaces.
One of the files that I was playing with this morning didn't like because it had a dash in it, and it let me import it, but then the code was breaking all over the place because it didn't like it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna rename it Raw.
And I think I'm lying to you. I forgot this. Needs to be a this in front of it. Then you do mp dot, see, is it start, create? I always forget, start. Now I'm going to go to my first button, and I want to program the on-click on it. Play music. And we'll see if it recognizes that file. First thing I tried to use this morning was a WAV file, and it didn't recognize it, so I had to convert it to an MP3 file.
Like, man. Let me see if I'm on.
Now I do got a better I do got a better sound file than that. If I go to raw here and I copy over this other one I have, ALNS game over. And then paste that in here. So now if I go to my code, and let's see, scroll to the right, we'll get rid of that game over and put dot ALNS game over. Now if I run it, you know what that's off of, right? Yeah. It's a popular one when you're programming a game to throw at the end. Classic sound.
Wow.
Okay. Anyway, that's how you play a sound.
I want to see if I could. What is the this class or interface expected?
Let me put my code back up.
Let me see if that works.
Again, it doesn't recognize all types of files. WAV file I couldn't get to play directly with this. There probably is a way to play a WAV file, but MP3, and there's a reason for that. MP3 is smaller. It's better suited for this type of application. WAV files are usually larger.
Oh, it's just really, really quiet.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
This has a lot of functionality to it. It wouldn't surprise me if you can't set the volume. See, here's a set volume.
Oh.
Float left volume, float right volume. I don't even know what to put here.
Yeah.
33, I don't know if that'll destroy the speaker or smoke will start coming out, or let's try that, 33. Since normally it goes up like 100%, I'm assuming that's like 33%, but I might be wrong.
Okay, let's see.
Let me change it to 100.
Yeah, I'm gonna do like 200. See if
And some of these you may have to have special equipment to get it to actually work correct. A little teeny speaker coming out of a laptop may not be what a left volume, right volume is really meant for.
mine. Yeah, 200 still is pretty. I want to see how high you can go.
I don't even notice. I didn't notice 100 even increasing any from 33. But there is that option there, set volume.
I did 1,000.
Well, the assignment on that is you have 3 buttons on your main screen, your main activity, and each one will go to a different activity that just has 1 button on it that plays a sound. You don't have to pass any information on this particular one. Does that make sense?
So do we make a new one?
Good. I guess you could modify this if you wanted, but it's up to you. Since you got so many buttons, it'd probably be just as easy to create a new one.